So on Friday, we showed a chart showing that there's been a pretty sharp decline in how many new people were being hired into tech roles in the US. And I found some more data on that. So according to Department of Labor data that the Wall Street Journal published, the number of unemployed IT workers here in the States rose from about 100,000 to about 150,000 last month. And that pushed IT unemployment from 3.9%, kind of below the national average, just a little bit, to 5.7%. Now, some of this is end of year cleaning house, companies letting people go and so forth. I wouldn't have thought in today's moment, when there's so much opportunity in technology, that we would have a higher unemployment rate for IT folks than the average American worker. And the question is this AI showing up in the numbers, Jason?
I think it's two things. The software in IT is getting better and better, and it's being offshored. So that combination of offshoring and let's call it self-serve. So you are in a remote company, you have a problem with the Mac Mini or whatever I sent you, or the camera. If the microphone, the camera, and the Mac Mini are, well constructed, and the software like Restream is well constructed, are you going to ask for tech support from producer Court or Chris, or are you just going to try to solve it yourself? You're probably going to just try to solve it yourself to not bother them, and you'll be a little self-reliant, and the answers are there. So I don't think it's AI replacing the IT person. I think what it is the customer, the executive, going to ChatGPT and saying, how do I underline in Word? That's what's happening here.
Okay, so essentially, people are more empowered by improved software and improved ability to go out and find their own answers. So in an IT context, going back to your early IT experience, we just need fewer bodies. Okay, I'll take that.
You're not going to call the support desk if you can call an AI. So instead of calling the support desk, go to ChatGPT, go to YouTube, go to Gemini, ask the same question, go to Grok, and you're probably half the time going to solve your issue. So the number of calls coming into the help desk go down because of AI. So this is a very weird one. It's not that AI's like exactly replacing the person. It's that people are going to AI to solve their problems. And I suspect this will happen with lawyers and accountants as well, and doctors. All of those professions, before we call our attorneys, we upload a document to ChatGPT and we ask it, is this a standard safe? Has anything been changed? Here's the standard safe. So before you call your attorneys and spend $800, $1,200, shout out to expensive attorneys everywhere, you can
shout out. Yes, we love y'all.
You should, as a founder, take the document and just ask ChatGPT to analyze and say, how is this term sheet I got from a venture capitalist different than the standard term sheet? Then when you go talk to your attorney, you could also upload as an employee, here's my non-compete, non-disclosure, whatever you signed when my assignment of IP. You could ask ChatGPT to analyze it, summarize it, and then you can go to your employer or your employment attorney and say, hey, who owns my IP in this case if I use my own laptop on the weekends? All of this is to say the first third or the first half of questions for professional service people are going to be answered not by Google, but by ChatGPT. Oh, we're done.
This goes back to, we talked about Glean the other day on the show, which is essentially AI for internal corporate answers. And Yahoo was a customer, so I actually got to use it for a second before I quit. And they just hit 100 million ARR. Wow. So there's another example of just this playing out in the market. I will say though, I think for the biggest companies, you're going to need IT staff because their internal systems are so complex. It's a little bit harder to ChatGPT your way out of them. But for anything under 1,000 people, I think you're dead on.
Founders like me, you've got a lot on your plate. Running a startup means you got to manage an endless to-do list, tons of tasks, right? You got to do your chores as a founder, and you got to juggle dynamic priorities. One day it's sales, the next day it's development, then it's product, then it's raising money. And that's why I rely on Coda, C-O-D-A, to keep everything in our organization under control. Coda is the all-in-one platform that brings together the best of documents, spreadsheets, and apps all into a single scalable workspace. And it's so much more than when I say a to-do list. I'm using that as like somewhere I start. Okay, I rattle off a couple of things that need to be done, but then my team builds databases and workflows into Coda so that repetitive tasks become automated and information is shared, and there's a single source of truth. our training documents, our meetings with founders, everybody who we co-invest with, LP relations. We do it all on Coda. And it gives us the flexibility to adapt to shifting priorities. We set our OKRs and we balance all that ambition we have with practicality. There are templates that you can use to start you on second or third base. Projects like Twist 500, where we're trying to catalog the top 500 private companies, that's being done inside of Coda. When you go to twist500.com, it's a Coda-based website, public-facing, but a database and a system for us to track those companies on the back end. It's an all-in-one hub for startups. It's literally a Swiss Army knife that we can use in any situation without having to go research another SaaS product and another template and another login and another debate and negotiation with a SaaS vendor for yet another $5,000 or $10,000 a year. And hey, it's my money. I would rather use Coda and have everything in one place, one login, and then hook it all together. It's intuitive. It's powerful. It makes our workflow seamless. Coda empowers your startup to strategize, plan, and track goals effectively. Take advantage of this limited time offer just for startups. Go to coda.io/twist today and get 6 months free of the team plan. Very generous. Thank you to the Coda team. That's coda.io/twist to get started for free. Well done, Coda.